A Royal Night Out is one of my favourite films about the royals ever, and I feel like it's really underrated. Now, it's not that it's not known, because it's got over 9,000 reviews on IMDb alone, with a total rating of 6.5 out of 10, so it's pretty respected, but I just never hear anybody talking about it, so I definitely urge everybody to watch it if you haven't seen it, because it's pretty awesome. This one was released in 2015, it's directed by Julian Jarrold, and written by Trevor de Silva and Kevin Hood. And the description from IMDb is as follows. On VE Day in 1945, as peace extends across Europe, Princesses Elizabeth and Margaret are allowed out to join the celebrations. It is a night full of excitement, danger, and the first flutters of romance. So, obviously, Queen Elizabeth when she was a princess, and Princess Margaret as young women get to go out into London and basically just spend a night like normal I'm not sure if they're teenagers or very young in their early 20s, but they get to spend a night just being out, celebrating VE Day, being with people their own age, and letting their hair down. And first of all, it's quite intense, because even though we know that the Queen and Princess Margaret turn out alright, there's that slight fear that something's going to go wrong. And obviously things do go wrong as the night progresses. Nothing too severe, of course, but they get themselves into different situations and they lose one another at one point, and it is pretty gripping and quite intense. It's great to see the contrast between Elizabeth and Margaret. Elizabeth, obviously the heir to the throne, very conscious of how she represents herself. Obviously, people around them don't know who they are as such. They don't go around saying, "Hi, I'm Princess Margaret, pleased to meet you." And on the occasion where they do, obviously nobody's going to believe them. So they do get to let their hair down kind of anonymously, but Elizabeth is still a lot more uptight and conscious of reputation. Margaret is a lot more relaxed and really enjoying herself, and it's really, really quite emotional when you sit back and think, well, okay, so this is a representation, it's not a documentary, but that's what the Queen was like. You know, once upon a time, the Queen was just an ordinary-ish young woman who wanted to just have fun and live her life. And it's very easy to forget that the royal family do have personalities. I love the royals. I'm a royalist. I absolutely adore the royal family. But it's easy to forget that they did and could do ordinary things at one point. It's great fun. It's quite heightened. They meet some very interesting characters along the way. The whole atmosphere, because of VE Day, is so emotional and so fantastic, and it's really wonderful to experience. Obviously, I was not born in 1945, but it's wonderful to kind of see it on screen, and I think, for what I understand, I feel like it does give off a really positive vibe that's accurate to how people would have felt at the time. I mean, I can't even imagine what it would have felt like for VE Day to arrive. The acting is amazing. Sarah Gadon plays Elizabeth and Belle Powley plays Margaret. Margaret specifically is incredible in this. I love her. I love the performance of her. I think she's got a great personality, and certainly you can tell the contrast between the two of them. If I were to compare them, say, to The Crown, the new series of The Crown, I'd say that that contrast is still there. This predates The Crown, I think it predates the first season of The Crown. I could be wrong. Emily Watson plays the Queen at the time, and Rupert Everett plays the King. And they do an absolutely fantastic job. I have no issues with any of this. The other thing that I thought was particularly amazing are the costumes. I loved the dresses that they wore. They looked fabulous. And the costume design is by Claire Anderson. Hats off, loved the costumes, loved the dresses. It is an award winner. It won the Breakthrough Performer Hampton International Film Festival to Belle Powley, who played Margaret. So I'm glad I'm not the only person who thought that her performance was amazing. She was also nominated for the Best Promising Newcomer at the British Independent Film Awards. So she's obviously done an amazing job with this, and I really want to look out for more of her work, and I need to remember to do that. The filming is wonderful. We have some great angles where we get to see people celebrating. The soundtrack is beautiful. We have Tipperary. It's British pride. It's the heart of the Royals. It's our history. And it's a bit of our history we can celebrate, because there are parts of our history that we can't really celebrate because we didn't do great things all of the time. But this is something we can get behind and really enjoy. And I have to say, it's one of the most beautiful, poignant films I've ever seen. It's not perfect. There are obviously moments where the pacing's maybe a bit slower, but truly I loved it. If you haven't seen it, completely recommend it.